We're going to be going over 2-30, A through C. So let's have a look at what it is asking us. It wants us to find a simplified algebraic expression for each expression map below. So we can simplify using the expression map and then write it out as an algebraic expression. So we can open up the algebra tiles and have the same problem as it's giving us for A. So here you can see we have the 2 1s. We also have a negative 1, and then we also have 2x. And that's all in this positive area. But down here in the opposite, we have 2 1s. And so to simplify, we can move these 1s over the line into the positive area, but that's going to change them into negative 1s when we pull them out of the opposite side. So we can do that. So now we have all the terms on the same side, and then we can start pairing up positive and negative terms so that they'll cancel out. So a 1 and a negative 1 will disappear, become 0, and we can do that with another 1 and negative 1, and they will also become 0. So then that, with those all gone, it's kind of easy to see what's left. It's just going to be a 2x and a minus 1. So to do the problem, we want to first write it out. We're doing 2-30A, and the algebraic expression that we're simplifying, if you want, you can write it out so it's not just a visual, you can do it in algebraic writing. So it's going to be 2 tiles, it's going to be minus 1 tile, it's going to be plus 2x, and then you're going to be subtracting these 2 tiles down here. And as we saw with the algebra tiles, that's going to simplify down to 2x minus 1 will be the simplified. So let's go back, close this, and try B now. So B. So once again, we can write out what the equation kind of looks like. So you see we've got the, well, let's open up the tiles first. So you can see that we've got the 3 1s up top. So it's going to be 3. We're going to be adding an x, and we're going to be adding a minus x right here. But then we're going to also be subtracting a negative 1, because we have a negative 1 down here, but it's in the opposite section. So once again, you can drag this over to the same side as everything else, but it's going to flip it into a positive 1. So the minus negative, the 2 negatives are going to cancel out and just become positive 1. Then once again, we can group up the similar terms. So we can group this x with this negative x, and they'll cancel out to 0. And so we're just going to be left with 4 1s on the same side. So down to B will just be 4. That will be the simplified expression. Alright, now let's finally take a look at C. Alright, so once again, recreate that with the CPM tile, algebra tiles. So on the positive side, we have an x squared. We have 2 negative 1s. And I'm just combining it to be -2, but you could do -1 or -1, -1. And now down here on the opposite side, we have a y and 2 1s. So that's going to be subtracting a y plus 2 over here. So, like before, when we want to switch it over to the same side, we can drag it over, but it's going to make it a -y. So when we take this y out and put it with everything else, we're going to be applying this negative to the y. And same thing with each of these ones. When we pull it out, the negative outside is going to be applied to the 2. So you can kind of group all the terms. Nothing's going to cancel out. There's not going to be any pairs that we can make. So then we can just, so we can't really simplify it much, but we can rewrite it as x squared minus 4 minus y. So we're able to combine this -2 with this 2 by applying this negative to it. And that is going to be 2-30.